everyone, it's me, Jaymes Mansfield, bringing you yet another tutorial. Today I'm going to bring you something I get requested quite often, and that's how I do my hair. Now, I'm going to show you my technique I use on just about any basic wig you get from a run-of-the-mill wig shop. You're going to need a few things. The first thing is a regular old dollar store brush. Doesn't matter, it's just for the brush out. But the most vital piece of equipment is a teasing comb. These bristles are very important. It's gonna pack in a lot of wig hair really quickly. Get one of these. Alrighty, you're gonna need two types of hairspray. I use one regular type of wet spray. This one is from Garnier Fructis, got it from Walgreens. And a glue spray. This is the one I use. It's for freeze the hairstyle in place after you've done styling it. And you're gonna need something to put the wig on. Some people could use the styrofoam heads. They're okay. I personally use the canvas wig head. Invest in one. They're like 20 bucks depending where you go. Go to a theater shop, you can usually find them pretty cheap there. Also, treat yourself to a wig stand. You could use a tripod, it's okay, but this is really what you need if you want that control. And of course, your wig. I just got a regular wig shop wig. It's pre-cut lace front wig. Costs about $40. Most importantly, this is a wavy style. You're gonna get the best kind of styles depending on what the wig already looks like, but I'll go more into that later. In the meantime, stay tuned and I'll show you how to get a beautiful hairstyle like this. Okay, so first I start by prepping the wig block, making sure it's all straight. Always make sure that the front of the wig is facing the wig and everything like that. Taking the wig out of the bag, I just plop it right on top of the wig head. I take some regular sewing straight pins and just pin it right into the lace. This is a hard lace wig from a wig shop. They're very cheap, so you can be as rough as you want with this. It's not really going to make a difference. If it were a softer lace, then you want to be more cautious. Then I just take a section and spray it down with some of the wet hairspray and lightly pack it in with teasing brush. I go from the ear tabs all the way around the forehead to the other side of the ear tab, lightly packing that hair in. You want to make sure the air stays inside of the hair and you don't want to pack down too hard, otherwise you just get a big fuzz ball and you can't go anywhere with it. You want to make sure you can still make a do out of this. You'll find that big hair conceals a lot of things, like facial scars, wonky eyelashes, choke marks from your John. I'm going track by track, taking about 2 tracks at a time with each other. You don't want to pack too big a section at a time, you want to keep them smaller. As you see, I'm just keeping all the hair in there and making sure there's a nice little long tail that you can blend in with the rest of the hair later. Now after you get done teasing, you could just keep it that way if you want to look like Russell Brand or Whitney Houston. Now I'm just taking sections and blending them together. That's called French lacing. Alright, starting with my second row, this part I'm doing the crown. Usually start from the middle onwards and just pack in from there. Kind of eyeball it from that point on because this is the part of the hair that's really, you're not going to see it. It's going to be hidden from the top portion you just did. Generally, you want to rat the entire wig, but for long styles like this, I feel like you compromise a lot of the length when you do that, and the hair becomes shorter and you don't get a lot of that length in it. So I usually do about the base of the front, the crown, and then a few sections on the back of the head, and then leave the kitchen long. The kitchen, for those of you who don't know, that is the very back of the hair that your neck touches. As you see here, I'm just taking sections onwards. I did about 4 rows each, and then I just packed them and laced them together. Yep, spraying it with the wet hairspray, going in and out, connecting them all together, making sure they all fuse into one before I begin the brush out. When you have big hair, it distracts from a lot of things, like your man hands, your nose, your penis. This wig, like I said, is already a wavy pattern, so that is what it's going to end up as. Always pay attention to this when you're buying wigs. If they're wavy like this, or if they're shaggy or cut in layers, they're always going to rat out the best and give you the most volume. All right, now it's time for the brush out. Using that same comb, I am just smoothing out the hair, trying to get some kind of story out of it, you know. You want hair that says, "Welcome to the Country Music Awards." This part, you get a little bit rough. You use your fingers to basically grab a hold of it and clutch it, and then keep sliding the brush through to smooth it out. You don't want to do it too hard, otherwise you'll pull a lot of the hair out and you won't get anywhere with it. It'll just look like a ratted nest. You just go softly, smoothing over that hair. If you wanted your hair to be even bigger, you would take a regular base wig, one that does not have a lace preferably, and just wrap that all the way around and repeat this process I'm showing you. And then using hairpins or safety pins, you would attach it to the wig and then blend it in together with the rest of the wig using your blending brush. Now I'm doing the back. Always brush from the bottom when it's time to brush out the rest of the wig. I'm just coiffing it. I decided I want to do more of a Maryland curl with this. This is the story I want this wig to tell.
it's going to have a very nice 1950s meets the 1960s kind of wave to the front with that curl going around it. And just using my fingers and structurizing it that way, and going in with the glue spray, that's going to add more resistance against the hair. And you want that, especially when you're smoothing it out at this point, because you want the hair to stay in place. You want it to basically do what you tell it to. And using my fingers and the combination of the rat tail of the brush, I'm just contorting the hair the way I want it to go. See, I missed a section there. You could always go back in with that comb and just rat it in and make sure it blends together, because you want it all to hold. This hairstyle is basically, I make it so that you can travel with it anywhere. Just put it inside of a bag and just take it right out and it'll be good to go. Now I know what you're thinking. This probably, the very beginning of this, you're thinking, this looks really, really, really ugly. And you know what? It has to go through an ugly phase before it gets pretty. Just like anything else. Remember, you want Bible belter hair. And we're going to keep using that freezing spray over this. Not too much, but just enough to give us enough of a barrier. That way the wig will smooth out and it'll give you a really fine finished look. Now by doing this, the wig may look like it's getting slicked backwards onto your head. We're going to go in and fix that later once we're all done smoothing. Let's see, there we go. I'm smoothing out the rest of the hair here. Not quite liking the way that curl's laying, so I'm just going to keep going back in there and adjusting it. Also, these wigs on these little hooks, they always tangle at the bottom, and I always constantly going around because I'm just all over the place when I'm ratting it. Before you know it, it's got wrapped around there like a bunch of towels in the dryer. I'm just brushing it out through the bottom. You can be very, very careful with this. The more harder you brush it, the less the curl is going to stay intact, and the more hairspray you spray on it, the harder it is to come back from that. Going with the rat tail comb and just pulling up the rest of the teasing, that way the hair lays in front of the wig and not in the back. Packing the hair down lightly. You always want to make sure to leave air inside the teasing. You don't want to tease it right down to the base, otherwise you can't work with it. Then going back in with my comb and my brush, I just smooth out those areas to make sure the waves all look nice. Just at this point, I'm just adjusting it the way I want it. Going back in with the hairspray and the combination of the comb and just fluffing it up, making it look pretty. And just adjusting the hair the way I want it to lay on the head. For this type of wig, I already know where exactly to stop. You go from the front of the wig about 5 tracks back until you're almost to the end of the wig in the middle section. And then you rat those sections down and then leave the back part of the kitchen, the back part of the wig that touches your neck, unteased so that you still have the length of the wig. And it's just going back in and out, smoothing out the sections and buffing it back up to make it nice. And always remember to blend the sections back in with the hair that you didn't tease to restore the curls that were set into the wig. That way the wig looks pretty and finished when you're done. And that's done.
I'm brunette now. I feel just like Christina Aguilera in her dirty days when she had dark hair. This is my quick and easy dirty style. You can do it probably roughly about 35 minutes. That's how long it takes me. And you can do it cheaply on any old store-bought wig. Nothing that can cost you more than $45. Now, I hope you all learned something today, and don't ask me how to do this again. Alrighty? Like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Love you all. Mwah.
Thanks for watching my video. Click these links to see me do a drugstore challenge or to review some shitty lipstick from CoverGirl. Click them. What are you waiting for? Click them.